Welcome, everyone, to a new episode of the Cool Guy Podcast together with my wife. This is your host, Marvin G.
And Caroline.
And Caroline, I guess you like to go by. Now, is that
name?
an official thing? Like,
Caroline?
huh?
Caroline? That's my name.
Yeah, but why does everybody call you Carol?
Just my cousin gave me that nickname.
So you prefer Caroline?
Well, I think as I've gotten older, I just like Caroline.
Yeah, Carol sounds old.
Yeah, I think you told me that one time.
I did.
Carol's an
when we
old
first
lady's
met.
name. And I'm like, you told me that. You told me my voice is a certain way. So I'm just self-conscious. Like,
But here we are going on 12 years married.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So when I do introduce myself, I do say Caroline versus before when I was younger, I would say Carol.
Well, I always, like, when people ask me, like, about you, I always say Carol. Oh, yeah, my wife, Carol.
You're going to have to say Caroline from now on.
Well, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to someone.
Who?
I want to give a shout out to a brother from our church.
Okay.
Hermano Edwin, my brother Edwin. He is always
Watch him
like,
not be hearing right now.
no, he's going to listen. But he's always following up with what he heard and giving us feedback. And like I hope that through this, he realizes how much we appreciate it.
Yeah, we do.
Like he even said, I'm your number one fan.
Yeah, he's funny.
So my brother Edwin, thank you so much for being so connected and so, keeping us accountable because we try to post something every Friday, but this weekend was really, really busy.
Yeah.
And speaking of, I know it's Monday and I'm going to finish this today so I can post it tonight, but you're going to be gone Friday. So I'm going to have to find a fill-in co-host.
Wow.
I'm not sure who it's going to be, but there
have your mom
will
on.
be a co-host.
Have your mom on the pod.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, thank you not just to Hermano Edwin. I know there's a few other people that have reached out and sent a message. So thank you so much for being faithful and listening. Remember to follow us on Instagram and also give us a like. Write us a review. There was one review that got, I think it's just one. And we have a few 5 stars, not a lot. We have a few 5 stars, which is great. And we have one review and one that I created. So technically there's 2. But please keep them coming. If you like what you're hearing, write a review. Give us 5-star rating. That definitely helps when other people are looking for what to listen to. So thank you for that. All right. Speaking of love, right? Speaking of our relationship and how we met and everything.
Wait, we were not talking about that.
We weren't?
Oh, when my name. Got it. Yes.
Okay, are you present or are you like somewhere else right now?
It's because you're talking about, you made it seem like we were having a whole conversation about love, which we haven't.
Okay.
We were talking about love. Okay, keep going.
We were talking about, yes, us and how things were when we first met.
Okay.
As far as your name and
yes.
Here we are
12
years later, almost still married. And we were watching a show. We've been watching a show called Love is Blind. Now, I know some of you are laughing and thinking like, oh my God, that was so last year. I don't even know when it came out, but I just know that a new season came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the newest. It's been out for a while now.
What we're watching?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the newest season, but it's
already been
it's been out.
Oh.
I want to say
we're
for a
late
few
to the
months
game
already. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I guess I'd have to check to see when exactly it came out, but it's an interesting show if you haven't watched it. The concept is really, it's crazy because they want to find out if love really is blind. So basically there's these people, I don't know how many people, maybe 10, 15 people.
Well, yeah.
They don't show everyone.
Right, yeah, no. They highlight a few people.
Yeah, so they highlight a few people that you can see starting to get romantically involved. So basically, they go into these pods. Like all the guys live together, all the girls live together, and then they individually go on dates in these pods.
But then they're dating each other.
Yeah, so
everybody's dating each other.
Exactly. They're getting to know one another, and they have notebooks, and they're writing notes, and there's like a nice little setting, a couch, and then there's like a silhouette type thing that
Kinda.
separates both sides. Well, it's not. Yeah, it kind of. Yeah, exactly. And then I think what's fascinating is the more they talk to people, obviously the notes that they take, and then they start liking the people based off of what they're hearing, the conversations, the tone of voice. Could you imagine if you were on Love Is Blind and I was dating you?
Picked me. No.
Just on your voice alone?
That sucks.
It doesn't suck because
that's why love is not blind for you.
Okay, and that's what I want to get to. So there was one of the most recent episodes that we were watching.
You have to, like, if people haven't watched this, it's gonna be like spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So this is the spoiler alert.
Okay, so go watch it and then come back and listen to the rest of this episode.
Or just know after this, you're gonna know.
Yeah. Well, we'll try not to spoil it. How about this? Okay, how about this?
No, I want to say names.
No. I don't need. Okay, just let's start with this first. Had you ever gone on a blind date?
Never.
You never talked to anybody on the phone?
No.
Nobody on the internet? Like, none of that?
No.
Okay. Well, I, on the other hand, I had 2 experiences with blind dating. But one of them, I was really young. I was probably 12, 13.
What?
And it's so funny to remember that story because actually we'll talk to my mom about it now that my mom is visiting. Because I was like obsessed with this girl that I was talking to on the phone, and she had like a really nice voice and like just like I mean, here a 12-year-old kid, I thought I was in love.
Of course.
You know, and we would talk all the time, and it's not like we had cell phones back then. Like I would go to a pay phone.
Oh my gosh.
Like when we were supposed to be at church, like I would get out and I would find quarters and I would call her across the street. There was a pay phone, and I would go use that pay phone. And I remember my mom would come out looking for me because she wouldn't see me, and she'd come I was so into the conversation that I wouldn't even see my mom, and before I knew it, she'd be in front of me, and I'd get startled. She'd be like, Marvin, and long story short. I
definitely want to bring this up tonight with her.
So finally, I remember I had a friend at the time, and he was like, man, you got to go see her. Like, what if this is it?
Was it a guy?
What if this is it? We're 12 years old, right? And I was like, all right. So, like, I asked, this is when I lived in Los Angeles.
Wait, how old was your friend?
He was about the same age, actually.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we're about the same age. Yeah, 2 little mocosos. And so I lived in Los Angeles, and this girl lived far. Like, it was at least an hour and a half on the bus. Okay? And here I'm thinking, like, yeah, man, like, I'm so excited. Like, yeah, what did I know at 12 years old, right? But I was excited, and I meet this girl, and it was nothing like I imagined.
Was her voice the same though?
Her voice was the same, but she was not my type at all. And
well, you're 12. How do you know what your type is?
Well, I mean, you know what you like. So, I was
I'm very different than what your type was.
Yeah, but I was very awakened at 12 years old. Like, yeah, I had. So anyways, the point here is she was not my type. And I mean, I feel bad now, but and
did she like
blew her off completely after that. Yeah, she liked me, but she knew something was up because I stopped talking to her. Like, I would talk to her like here and there, and then she got the point. Man, that's like I know I gotta find this other person now and ask for forgiveness too. But anyways,
what was her name? What was her name?
Oh, I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember that. Yeah, I don't remember. But anyways, once I was older, and the internet like was starting to pick up. I don't know if you remember this, but there used to be chat rooms.
Oh yeah.
On AOL, and then you can go in there and you're just chatting with people, like random people, like, and there was a cap, right? Like, let's say 25 people total, and then once that room is full, then you would go look for other rooms or whatever. So I was in a chat room because I used to go into those all the time. Like, was fun to me.
You would, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun to me. And I don't remember her name either, but I remember meeting another girl on there, and we would, message each other, and we started talking. And yeah, I mean, she had a nice voice and everything. And I mean, I guess I kind of started having feelings, like not love, just I liked her. I liked having conversations with her. I looked forward to speaking to her. And then finally the time came where we were going to go meet.
Oh
and
gosh.
I still lived in Los Angeles. She lived in Santa Barbara. Like that was easy 2-hour drive.
Far.
And I was totally involved, committed, whatever you want to call it. And I made the drive, and
gosh.
I didn't know what she looked like. It's not like, here, take a selfie. Like, that didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
Like, she would have sent a picture in the mail, and it was just faster for me to drive there than wait in the mail for a picture, you know?
Snail mail.
So I met her, and not what I was expecting either. Like,
is it anticlimactic?
no, like she was. From what honestly, I don't. It's very vague now. Like I don't. Yeah, I guess I didn't care that much, right? Because it didn't leave an impression. Well, yeah. But I just remember too. Like I wasn't attracted to her. Like it wasn't my type of girl. So after that, like we really didn't talk anymore. And
dang.
Being fair though, I mean, I probably wasn't her type either because I don't remember her reaching out to me either. You know. So I think it went both ways.
Man.
Long story short, now we live in an era where. Well, I mean, is it really considered blind dating though? Like all the apps that are out there?
Well, no, because they see their
you can
faces.
see each other, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Like you put pictures of yourself.
Yeah. Okay, but going back to the Love is Blind.
Love is Blind. Either literally you don't see each other, and I'm pretty sure you can't talk about what you look like.
I want to find that out because
fact checked.
Remember one of the people that was in the room asked the girl like what her body type was, and she got so offended. But remember on a different episode, on a different season, this guy was trying to gauge.
He's like, "Can I lift you?
Would I be able to lift
above my head?
Would I be able to lift you above my head?" Like, I mean, I give him credit for being creative in how to go after that information.
It depends on how strong you are.
Yeah, but I guess would you ever? Obviously, we're married now, but
oh gosh,
could you have seen yourself going to the show and finding out if Love is Blind that way?
No.
Really?
No.
Why?
Here's the thing. Okay. It says top 10 insane rules is that they can describe their looks.
Oh, they can.
This is just like on a random site, though.
Okay, it's not official.
But
going back to why wouldn't you?
Here's the thing. You and I grew up very, very differently.
Yeah,
obviously.
True.
You know that. I feel like I just would have been too, like, I don't want to say scared, but like too
afraid.
No. But yeah, like just like I don't know who I'm talking to. Well, so just that whole like that factor of like, well, I don't know who this is, and like I wouldn't. So
I would love that experience. I would have loved to have gone to the show.
Wow.
But let me finish. Like I could totally see myself doing that. And I would have loved to like, oh my God, like talk to somebody and I love your voice and like fall in love with the person that you're hearing. But then when they have to see each other, I would be the one like, you know what? I'm just kidding. Like everything that I said, like it's not true. So
that sucks.
I guess for me, love isn't blind, right?
Yeah, I don't see that being your type of thing.
No, and I'm
saying like yeah, no, I don't think love is blind for you.
No, absolutely not.
That's what I mean, because that's just not who you are.
Right, but I mean, okay, I know we started off saying like, oh, you know, I would say this about your voice or this or whatever, but obviously I was attracted to you, right?
I mean, I hope so.
No, I was. I mean, that's why I was able to put behind our previous encounters, you know, where I thought you were stuck up or I thought that, you know, yeah, like I always thought that you were very attractive. And I feel like once we kind of hit it off and you were laughing at my jokes, then it was like, oh, okay, like, yeah, like she's cute. Like, let's see where this goes. But going back to the show, yeah, I don't think that I could get serious with someone based off of just emotions.
Yeah, and I think okay, obviously guys are very different too. I think Love is Blind for me in the sense that like
look at you. It's okay. Like they were probably thinking it. You were probably thinking it. So I just said it.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, yeah, in that sense of like, I'm sure people see us and I mean, or maybe saw us and was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, like they don't go.
They don't match.
Right?
They don't match.
Yeah.
But for me, it was more than that. It was more than like your appearance. So, and that was enough for me. Do you know what I mean? Like that was enough for me, like to feel like, oh my gosh, I love him and I'm willing to spend the rest of my life with him, you know?
And now here we are.
Yeah. So, but I do think that, okay, let's talk about details with these people.
Yeah.
Because there's people that, so they all date each other and then they slowly start filtering out, you know, like I'm sure there's people there that like, oh, heck no, I do not want to continue talking to you, you know, and they just don't like ask for a date anymore.
Right.
But then they slowly start expressing their feelings towards each other. And there's people, what we've noticed is that are very straightforward, right? Which is good. But then they like can, like that girl that was heartbroken.
And I want to talk about that
Jess,
one, yeah,
Jessica
in particular.
or Jess, because she was straightforward the whole time. Like when she
was she?
I feel like she.
Was
Okay,
she?
let's replay this because her first or second date, she's like, "This is the guy for me," and she was like, "This is my man. This is my man." And
wait, are we talking about the same one? The one with the baby?
The
With
mom.
The mom.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, keep going,
so
keep
like
going.
second, I want to say it's almost the first date they had. Like she was like confident, like this is the man, and she, I feel like blocked off everybody else. Like did you just smell your microphone right now?
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
I like the smell of it. Like
Your
still
breath
smells new. No,
It smells like your breath.
No, just keep going with what you're saying.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Sorry.
Okay, let me time out. Okay, because yes, on the one hand, she was straightforward.
Yes.
But my biggest issue with this girl, this lady, this mom, was that she was not upfront about having her daughter, a 10-year-old daughter. And I mean, my perspective is not that there's anything wrong with a mom. I mean, there are a ton of single women out there that are, I'm sure, great. And I'm sure they're going to find somebody that's going to love them and take their kids take them in,
Yeah.
But I feel like that's information that needs to be said like right away. Like that doesn't
Hi,
mean
my
like,
name
hey,
is
hi.
Jess.
Yeah, no, it doesn't
I'm a
mean
mom.
like not that straightforward. But once you start feeling like, wait, there's chemistry, or hey, like I like talking to this person, I think the next thing that's fair is, hey, by the way, before this gets any further, or before you have any
You
more,
get too excited.
yeah, like I want you to know that I'm a mom and I'm a single mom, and she didn't do that, and she went into this experience with the mindset of not telling the person that she was gonna date or whatever
until she knew for sure. Like,
exactly, because the way she said is like, she wanted somebody to fall in love with her, and I thought I didn't think that was right.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Okay, I get how she wants somebody to know and fall in love with her. Like, so I'm thinking she must be thinking, okay, if they love me, they're going to love my daughter.
Yeah, but granted, she's an attractive girl.
Yeah.
But I got the impression that maybe she was getting the wrong attention based off of just her looks.
Yeah.
And maybe, once they found out, like, oh, like she's a mom too, maybe they were like, you know what, I'm actually, like, that's too much responsibility, or that's not what I'm looking for. But still, like, I feel like you have to be upfront with that information.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it would save her a lot of heartbreak.
And I feel like that's exactly what happened. Like, here this guy was, like, falling for her, and she obviously fell for this guy. But at the end of the day, again, spoiler alert, he said, I mean, you have a 10-year-old daughter.
Yeah, and he was very clear about that. I think what she didn't like is that he would never, like, okay.
He let her on.
Yeah. So, because there was like some of their last dates, she was like very like, you are the one for me. I can see me marrying you, blah, 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 blah. And he wouldn't say no. He would say things like, oh, yeah, when we have our house together or when we travel. So they would show her, right, getting like all excited and blah, blah, blah. So he didn't really say like, I'm hesitant, I'm thinking about it.
Okay, but here's the other thing. And this is where, I don't know where I stand on as far as this is concerned, but isn't that the point of the show, for him to date other women or her date other guys?
Yeah.
But like, so to what point do you, like, it's just a tricky situation. It's not your typical dating.
Well, no, it's no.
And I'm sure that happens in real life. I'm sure people play the field and they have their options open. Yeah. And then eventually they.
Well, here's right? No, oh man, yeah, it's hard. But I do know that's part of the game, because it is a game. Mm-hmm. It's a game, you know. So they have to date various people. We know that, but then they have to really, how do I say it? Like, be wise about, like, the guy Jeremy, right? I think that was his name. I could be totally messing that up, but Jeremy, I think, is a guy that Jess liked. Yes. He even said that. He's like, I'm not going to tell everybody that I love them unless I know for sure. So it's just a hard game, because you want to date everybody. You want to have your feelers out. Like that guy, Matthew, the guy who left, spoiler alert, he left because he did exact opposite of what this guy said that he was not going to do. So he told two people the same thing. And then they go back to the women's quarters or whatever. And then they're like mad because they overhear each other talking about the same exact thing. And so I think even though you think you're prepared for it, you can't fully be prepared for it. Do you know what I mean? Like Jess, she was like saying, the mom, the night before the semi to last date, she was like, I'm okay if it's not me. She kept saying, I'm okay. Okay, well, the day came when he's like, it's not you. She wasn't okay. She was really upset. She was heartbroken. She was devastated, and she went off. She even told him, did you hear that? When she said, you're going to need an EpiPen to like get over like what you missed out on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. She was just a little bitter and petty after that. But so, I don't blame her.
But I mean, so it's a hard game, and you can't fully be prepared for it. And the whole, like, when you see your person, I mean, granted, these people have like a whole production watching them, right? So how, like, I want to see somebody who's like, oh, you're not what I look like. You're not what I thought.
That happened one time on one of the previous episodes.
The previous season.
Or seasons, I mean. There was a girl that totally was not into the guy and they ended up becoming friends on their honeymoon.
That was so weird.
That was weird, yeah.
I mean, I get, but then, it's a risk, obviously.
I think one of the things about this guy, Jeremy, that we're talking about, he was more interested in this other girl.
Oh, yeah.
Because she said that they were talking about if they ever get mistaken for any celebrities.
She brought that up, by the way, yeah.
And she said that people think that she looks like Megan Fox. Go search Megan Fox, please, so that you can see
Heather, I think.
Yeah, so you can well, go see who Megan Fox is. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and maybe I'll put it on Instagram.
Post a side by side.
But in my opinion, it's like, okay, I could
maybe
see
her
it
nose
if I'm drunk. No, like nada que ver. Like there was for me, there's no similarity.
You can see how this guy,
he was fixated on that.
Yeah. His face, you could just see his mind like like just going. So I cannot wait to see his reaction to
when
her,
he sees her,
because she does not look like Megan. Yeah, she has dark hair and blue eyes. I think that's what she said. But no, like
her body type is
nada que
different.
Nada
like
que ver.
yeah,
she's
yeah,
like
yeah.
curvy.
Yeah, yeah. So
I don't know. But is love blind? I mean, according to the Bible, it should be. Love is.
The Bible says that
Love is blind. Doesn't it say that?
I don't think so. I think the Bible says love is patient,
Yeah.
love is kind. I don't think it says love is blind. Oh my gosh. I can't believe you.
Are you going to edit this out, please?
No, we're not going to edit this out. Oh my, guys, forgive me, please.
Okay, I need to
Clearly, my wife doesn't know her Bible. Anyhow,
I feel my face all red.
yeah.
What,
You know,
I'm
we always
trying to look
we say
at-
that, you know, the podcast is with a Jesus twist. But I am interested in knowing how
Oh
many
my
Christian
gosh.
people would be interested in going or doing a show like this.
I'm trying to find.
I think we would
why
have
I
to.
was looking.
I
why
think we
said
would have
that.
to switch things around though, because obviously they can't live together. Part of the experience is,
yeah.
you know, they meet and then they go like on a
honeymoon.
But they're not really married. Though.
Well, so
they're
they go on a
engaged,
honeymoon.
right? They're engaged, and
They're
then they go on
engaged,
this.
and they go like on a. So they take them to a resort, right? They
Yeah.
take them to a resort, and then they have to live together for about like 4 weeks. Oh no! First, it's like a resort, like a romantic resort. So it's just all the couples that are deciding to get married. They take them to a resort, and then they do like everything there, whatever they want, basically. No, like.
Yeah, whatever sin they want to do.
Basically, and then they get married. They go to their honeymoon, but somewhere in between there, they have to go back and live.
So this is what you were thinking of. It's 1 Corinthians 13:4. It says, "Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable, and it keeps no record of being wronged.
Does it say
It
blind?
does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and
Oh my
endures through
gosh.
every circumstance."
Basically,
but it does not
it's saying
say
love is blind.
blind.
Okay, that's First Caroline 5:1.
Yeah, that was your
That
own
was bad.
version.
Okay, I am.
Anyhow, I am curious to know how many Christian men and women would do an experiment like this, obviously with, you know, parameters so that we're not sinning. Yeah. So we're, you know, but I mean, I would have been open for doing something like this. And now that I think about it as a parent, like if one of my girls, I'd be like, heck no. So, I mean, obviously I'm being a little biased now, but I am interested. Like if there are single men and women out there, would you be interested in doing something like this? That doesn't mean you're going to do it. It's just, would you do it? Would you do it? And I know, because I mean, we have a few friends that are single, and some of them have been open about putting themselves out there, like even on apps and stuff like that. And I mean, that's cool. But I think this right here just goes,
Well, because I think the experiment is like you truly talk about certain things like that. Like a lot of them
trigger emotions.
Well, yeah, okay. And then if you've noticed, a lot of them, like they talk about their childhood, and then they relate or they don't relate, like based off of how they grew up.
Right.
You know, that's why like some of them, it's like, oh my gosh, like my parent also passed when I was 5. You know, so they kind of like, but there's a lot of emotion into it, and then when we're watching it, it's like, ooh, like I don't know, like what they said, like it's very emotional.
Yeah.
It's like an emotional roller coaster. They have to make hard decisions because you're dealing with people's emotions, you know, like just overall. So that's just hard. I don't know. I know I wouldn't. It's just not my thing.
It's not your thing. All right. Well, that's fair. And then I think the other thing I would want to know is if you're a guy, how would you feel about a single mom? Like what, I guess there's no right or wrong answer, honestly. It's just what would you prefer? Is that something that you would want to know?
Like up front?
Like up front?
Versus...
Like, that doesn't mean like you said, like, hey, my name is Carol, and by the way, I have 3 kids. No.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, you know, there's a thing between getting to know someone and just it being casual.
I would say, like, okay, the first date, it's awkward. You're like meeting each other, blah, blah, blah. The second date, okay, you like somebody. Obviously, that's why you're going back.
On a second date.
The third date, you're like, all right, maybe I want to continue getting to know this person.
Okay, let's I think that's a good poll right there. Okay, so when should you reveal if you're a single parent? Because it can be either way. It's not just single moms. There's single dads out there too.
Well, here's the thing. Like, okay, you go on a date, but then during the week, like, don't people talk to each other? Like, there's like constant, like, I don't know how that works anymore.
But I don't need. Yeah, you're right.
So, but I mean, like, when we were dating, we were on the phone texting each other all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like, we were texting and talking. I remember I was like at work and like we were going back and forth like all day.
Hey, actually, now that like the Holy Spirit is reminding me of our story. Do you remember, like, there was a point where we would only text. Like, we didn't really talk on the phone.
Yeah, it was.
We only texted.
Yeah.
And then I remember, it's so crazy the way that I just remember this, but I used to work at this industrial laundry service, and I remember making a delivery like early in the morning.
And you called me.
Yeah, and we talked like for the first time.
No,
phone.
That was not the first time.
No,
it was like an evening because I remember going up to my room.
Oh, okay.
And closing the door because I was so nervous because you were gonna call me for the first time because we were just texting.
Yeah, that's so crazy. But anyways, let's just do first date, second date, third date.
No,
why?
Well, okay, I would say like 4th, 5th date.
What?
Like, because it just depends. Like, okay, I'm just thinking like first date, all right. Second date, you're still getting to know each other. Third date is when you're like, okay, do I want to go back out with this person? Okay. 4th date, hey, by the way, I'm a single mom.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Okay, should you reveal that information on dates 1 and 2 or dates 3 and 4?
I would say 3 and 4 because it's still new.
I would say 1 and 2.
It's still new.
But that's what I mean. Like, by the time you're on date 3 and 4,
and this is me thinking they're gonna go out like every week,
right? But if you're already on date 3 and 4, that means that like there's something about this person that you like.
But you can still be unsure. It's still too early.
Okay, well, that's what we're gonna make a poll just to see what other people think. But
I don't know because I've also known people that don't say anything until they're like really into it, and then I feel
until they're at the altar and they're like, "Hey, who's the ring bearer?
Oh,
that's my son." All right. Well.
Okay, but seriously, aren't you glad we don't have to deal with that anymore?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like I wouldn't even know where to start. Yeah.
I'm sure you'd have an idea.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, you'd figure it out.
Well, no, yeah, you would figure it out, but yeah, I mean,
I think times are just so different. So but how do I say it? Like, you evolve with time. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah.
So it's not so much like.
But imagine 12 years ago, like, what was out back then when we first started talking? Oh, MySpace, yeah.
Yeah.
You had a cool MySpace, didn't you?
I had a decked out MySpace. Like, I had like the pictures that like rotated. I had music.
Oh man,
it was a whole thing. I spent a lot of time.
It was. Didn't they have like a thing called Pimp My Page or something?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So bad.
I wonder if my MySpace is still active.
Mine.
Like, what happened to MySpace?
Website? Do you still have the website?
I think so.
I'm sure it's like an old email that I don't even have access to anymore.
Really?
Are you checking?
Yeah. I want to see if it's still around.
It has
MySpace.com. It says it's still there.
Oh my gosh.
Huh. Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I don't even know where I would.
What email? It's gonna be your old email.
I was about to say it. All right. Well, anyways.
All right. Well,
Love is Blind. I would
like the Bible. Like the Bible.
Yeah, like the Bible says, love is blind. I would recommend you watch it just because it is entertaining. But obviously, that's not the type of lifestyle that.
Yeah, maybe
as far as after the proposal.
Maybe don't tell him to watch it.
Don't watch it then. Yeah, go watch it. I mean, you're an adult. I'm sure you see worse things. But check it out. Just check it out, and just if you haven't heard about the show, check it out, and just the concept of it. The concept of it. I mean, maybe go back to season 1 just so that they explain exactly how it works and all that.
Yeah, because they don't do that now.
I don't think they really do that anymore. And yeah, I'd be interested in knowing if that's something that you would do or not.
I am curious to see who ends up with who. And then at the end, like the ones that don't get proposed to, I'm sure
Well, they meet up. Remember, they all get together. Oh, yes. And remember the last time there was beef drama because this guy was like, oh, dang, I didn't pick her. And she was the same thing. Like, oh, no, my God.
No, and then the other couple was engaged and then they broke up and she went with the other guy.
That happened?
Remember?
I'm trying to remember that. I remember that, yeah, there was something like that, but I just don't remember the details of what exactly happened.
Yeah. Anyway, watch it. Let us know what you think. And let us know what the poll that you're going to put up.
Yeah. So the poll will be up on our Instagram, the Cool Guy Podcast. That's the handle at Instagram. If you want to email me, if you still do that, you can send us an email at thepodcastcoolguy@gmail.com. Once again, please write us a review. Give us 5 stars if you like what you're hearing. And yeah, let's be interactive about this. You're going to be gone this weekend?
Yeah.
You're going to go visit your grandpa?
Yeah, I'll be in LA for a few days, which I feel like it's going to be a long time.
So if anybody wants to send food our way because you're going to be gone.
Your mom's going to be here.
That's true. I know. I just forget that my mom is here. And I don't want to put too much on her, obviously, but.
Well, today she gave me a list of things to buy, so hopefully, I'm sure you guys will be fine.
Like list of things to buy for what, food?
Like groceries.
Okay. Yeah. Is there enchiladas in there?
No, there's no way she could do that by herself.
Oh, okay. Well, when you get back, for sure, we got to do that.
Because she's going to be gone, and she leaves already in 2 weeks.
That's what I'm saying. When you get back, then
we should convince her to stay longer.
And can you believe that our oldest daughter's going to be 10 already in a few weeks, too?
Yeah,
that's crazy. So, anyways.
A whole decade that we've kept her alive.
I know. I actually feel proud. I feel proud of ourselves.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I know it's through God. I mean, God is the one that's given us the wisdom and the patience and the grace with her. And
yeah,
I can't believe she's 10, especially when she sends out her little birthday list.
That list, man, it's getting longer and longer.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, it's a little shorter, I think, than we normally go, but that's fine. I think we talked about enough things that we wanted to. Yeah, I'm gonna find a co-host to sit in.
Wait,
for
who
you.
are your options?
Maybe, I don't know.
I need to approve.
No, I have
Why?
to, because this is my podcast. Yeah, so I'll find somebody. I don't know who it is, but everyone will be surprised, including you.
Oh man, they can't use my mic.
Of course they can.
No,
that's the show.
I'm gonna take it with me.
Oh gosh. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Have a good week.
All right, guys. God bless.